Hello everybody, my name is Lemonade. I also go by Lemon. I'm your coach of the Sacramento Surge. Today we are starting off season 3, of the SPS, the rebranded name of the IPA. This week we are up against Coach Ghost and the London Indeedies. This is a post-com because I messed up or my recording software messed up. Both are likely. But I think there was something else I wanted to say. I did make a visual pages for the team breakdown. I felt like it was going to be a big help. And I really like it. So you're going to be able to see these 6 on her team that I'm expecting her to bring. Her full team consists of Mew, Mega Venusaur, Entei, Mimikyu, Skarmory, Inteleon, Snorlax, Muck, Alolan Muck, Hariyama, Dedenne, and Marowak. The 6 I'm expecting her to bring are Mew, Mega Venusaur, Skarmory, Mimikyu, Inteleon, and Alolan Muck. I do think that Snorlax is very, very likely, because I don't have a fighting type, obviously. Which I have realized is a bit problematic. But I looked at my future matchups, and I don't think it's going to be too problematic if, there's no changes in future teams. But we're going to kick it right off by saying that her hazard setters are only Mew and Skarmory and Marowak, and her only hazard removers are Mew and Skarmory. So she nor I have very good hazard game. So going into this, one of my strategies was definitely to make her have to go for defog instead of me. But something else that's really, I think, is going to be really important in this game, she does not have a single ground resist. Her only switch in to a ground type move is Skarmory, which is a very good one, especially because it is a very good option to deal with Mega Swampert. This week we are running Darkest Theory, Liquidation, Substitute, and Earthquake with an Adamant Nature. 212 EVs in HP, max attack, and 44 speed. 44 speed is allowing us to outspeed Inteleon. I do think Inteleon is... Going into it, I did think that Inteleon was going to be Scarf if it shows up, because that can outspeed Max, Jolly, Swampert in rain, and it can hit it really, really hard with Hydro Pump. So I felt like Scarf Inteleon was possible. We have Darkest Theory there in case of the standard Cosmic Power Mew set. Because that's just something you always have to prep for. Otherwise, you will lose to it. It's one of those things that is so standardly good that you have to prep for it. Otherwise, you're just screwed. And I think that set is very likely, considering that my Dark and Ghost type is a Sableye. Liquidation is just the highest base power physical water type move that this thing learns, and it has a 20% chance to lower defense stat by 1 stage, which could be really helpful for Skarmory and for Snorlax, and Muck, actually, on a switch-in. Earthquake is for Muck, and because it is crazy spammable. But Substitute is because I was very confident that Will-O-Wisp Mimikyu was coming. I thought that it was a great answer to shut down Mega Swampert. So my answer to that was going for Substitute, and I could just go for Liquidation, break the Disguise, or I could have something else on my team break Disguise, whatever. Anyway, of course, if we are bringing Mega Swampert, we have to bring Pelipper. Pelipper is rocking the Damp Rock, which extends the number of turns that rain lasts from 5 to 8. Hurricane, Defog, Roost, and Scald. Hurricane is there. It is guaranteed to... I forgot to change the EVs on the slides. It is not that offensive. I changed it to a very defensive set. Hurricane is guaranteed to hit KO on Mega Venusaur, which is what I was mainly going for. Defog for hazard removal. Roost is for recovery. And Scald is just to hit everything pretty well. Hopefully get some Scald burns. I was stuck between Scald and U-Turn for a while, but I felt like Scald was going to be better to hit the Skarmory. And the reason I'm not worrying about heavy-duty boots this week is because, one, I'm running Substitute Swampert, so I felt like having extra rain turns was going to be really important. And two, my answer to Skarmory is usually going to be Pelipper anyway. So, and Skarmory is her main hazard setter anyway. So if both of my best options to that kind of thing is Pelipper, I might as well not worry about it and just run Roost to recover any of the health. It doesn't do much else, honestly. Maybe I can scout out what kind of set the Hariyama is if it comes. Hurricane does do a good amount of damage to the Hariyama in case it comes. I don't think it will, but in case it does. The next Pokemon we brought with the idea that Scarf and Inteleon was possible, I had to be able to prepare for it, and that prep. I cannot talk, it is late. Um, and the best preparation for that was Goodra. Goodra is rocking the Assault Vest, which boosts our special defense by 1 stage, but we can only go for attacking moves. We are using Thunderbolt, Earthquake, Draco Meteor, and Acid Spray. Thunderbolt is there for the Skarmory and for Inteleon. Earthquake is again very, very spammable. Draco Meteor, highest base power Dragon type move that Goodra can learn. I felt like it was going to be really good this game. And Acid Spray is there to slowly whittle down Muck, Snorlax, and Venusaur. So that Draco Meteor or something can do really big damage. I was really back and forth on that last move. I had Hydro Pump, Surf, I had Dragon Pulse for more consistent damage. Um, I thought about Power Whip for a second, honestly. Not long, but a little bit. I thought about Rock Slide. I don't know why I don't know why I thought about Rock Slide actually. But I chose on Acid Spray because I felt like it was going to be the best thing. We were running Sap Zipper so that we can just absolutely completely shut down Mega Venusaur. Like, this is just a really good Mega Venusaur check. If we go +1 though, Earthquake is doing a lot of damage to her team, just generally. 80 HP, 176 attack, and max special attack with a Quiet Nature. Quiet Nature is boosting our special attack and lowering our speed. Speed did not feel very important on Goodra this week. We are still outspeeding no speed Muck, and that's pretty much the only thing that Goodra really needed to outspeed anyway, just because Muck can be very annoying with Poison Touch and Poison Jab. Having that like 60% chance to poison is kind of ridiculous. So I just really needed to outspeed that, if anything. So we are still outspeeding it if it's no speed at all. Our next pick, though, like I said with Acid Spray, it's there to weaken something down on the specially defensive side, and that is for Vikavolt. So Vikavolt, very powerful this week. My opponent does not have very good electric resists. Her best one is definitely the Mega Venusaur. And Venusaur does not appreciate a Bug Buzz. It is a guaranteed 3-hit KO from Bug Buzz. That is including if I don't get any special defense drops. If I get one, it's a 2-hit KO. Volt Switch is for Pivot. Sticky Web is to slow down something like Inteleon or Mew. Maybe possibly Entei. I can kind of see Entei as an answer to Kartana, because Kartana still does die to any fire type move unless it's not stab and like uninvest. Like, that's never gonna happen though. Kartana does not benefit a whole lot from rain. But I kind of can see the Entei because it can learn Sacred Fire, which is a 50% chance to burn, so that can really mess with Swampert, and it can learn Stone Edge for Pelipper and Vikavolt. I can see it coming, is what I'm getting at. It could come, but I don't think it's very likely. Very standard set, modest, max special attack, max HP, 4 special defense. It's the standard set. It is. And I felt like it was the best set anyway. Volt Switch is still guaranteed killing the Skarmory and Inteleon, and it's doing a good amount of damage to pretty much everything else, and it allows us to scout out their set while giving us slow pivot. And Roost is just for recovery, because obviously it is going to be taking some hits. Our next bring, though, I am kind of blanking on what it was. Hold on. Oh, okay, I remember what it was. We brought Kartana. So, Kartana this week is running Psycho Cut for Venusaur and Hariyama. Smart Strike is there for stab, and it hits the Mimikyu very well. She does not have very good steel resists, other than Entei and Skarmory either. Leaf Blade, guaranteed Oko on Inteleon, and generally hits her team fairly hard. Hit Sacred Sword. Oh, excuse me. Sacred Sword was my immediate answer to a Curse Snorlax. We're running max attack, 72 special defense, and 184 speed. Kartana's main role, honestly, is just to figure out if Inteleon is scarfed. I know I can live a Hydro Pump outside of rain, and if Kartana outspeeds it, I go for Leaf Blade. It's dead Inteleon. If it's Scarf, then either she's risking missing a Hydro Pump or Kartana's dead, and then I can go Goodra for free. Either way, I've got good intel. I know what's going to be going on. And even outside of that, Kartana is a very good threat. It's very, very offensive, and it can really put in some work. But our last pick, I was very, very divided on this one. I thought about Sylveon for a bit, but then decided that she has so many fairy resists that it just wasn't worth it. Porygon 2, maybe. I didn't see it being really valuable. It wasn't invaluable, it just wasn't very valuable. It kind of felt like a free substitute for a stall Venusaur, which I hate dealing with stall. I hate dealing with Venusaur. I was not going to be dealing with that, so I decided to actually go with Sinus the Sableye. Sableye is running around with Nightshade, Knockoff, Recover, and Will-O-Wisp with the leftovers item. Impish Nature and Prankster ability. Max HP, 176 defense, 80 special defense. Not real any rhyme or reason. We have is looking level play rough from Mimikyu, as I go for Will-O-Wisp, which will be guaranteed to go first for Prankster. I burn that thing. Its attacking stats are, or its physical attacking moves are halved in power. It doesn't hit very hard anymore. Then I can go for Knockoff, remove any possible Life Orb, or maybe Choice Band as I break the disguise, and then I can just go for Nightshade. Now, the reason for Nightshade is because Mew, again, the standard Cosmic Power, Stored Power, Body Press, Roost Mew is very annoying and very good. So I need good answers to it, and my answer to it is Sableye. Being immune to both Body Press and Stored Power, I completely wall that set, but I also do beat it with Nightshade, and Nightshade is guaranteed to do 100 damage because it does the equal amount of damage as the user's level, and all of our Pokemon are set to level 100, so it's guaranteed to do exactly 100 HP damage. So I'm not. So any stat boosts are not being interfered with. Like if it goes for Cosmic Power, it doesn't matter because Nightshade is not affected by it. With that being said, though, that is our team this week. I am going to bring us over to the replay now. And again, these are the 6 I'm expecting: Mew, Venusaur, Skarmory, Mimikyu, Inteleon, and Alolan Muck. So we're going to see the 6 that our opponent chose to bring this week are not that. She brought Entei, Venusaur, Skarmory, Snorlax, Mew, and Entei. Now, I was kind of surprised to see the Entei. I wasn't super surprised to see the Dedenne, and I knew it was going to be Scarf. It was probably going to be like Thunderbolt, maybe Thunder, Nuzzle is possible. I know it does learn Nuzzle, but I felt like Super Fang was pretty good. It does learn U-Turn and Volt Switch, probably going to be running U-Turn because Swampert comes in for free, but I really, really felt like it was going to be running Grass Knot. So I did get half of them right. The 3 that I got wrong were Snorlax, Dedenne, and Entei. Entei is most likely Scarf or Band. But I felt like Band was a little bit more likely considering I have a Rain team and I want to be going for some Fire type moves against what we have. Mew, you can't peg down what Mew's going to do. It's Mew. It's so difficult to deal with. Snorlax, most likely Curselax. If your opponent doesn't have a fighting type, just run Curselax, and they can't do much. Luckily, though, we do have a Sacred Sword Kartana. Venusaur, probably bringing Leech Seed, maybe Substitute. And so here, what I was thinking was the possible leads were either Mew or Skarmory. And I felt like either one would have been I feel like I would have been in an okay position if I had just led with Pelipper. And she chooses to lead with Dedenne, which immediately puts me in a horrible spot. So the obvious answer is to go into Swampert, but I felt very strongly that she was going to be carrying Grass Knot, and that would still be doing a good amount of damage to Pelipper as well. So Grass Knot was definitely a plausible play here. So I choose to go to Vikavolt to resist either Grass Knot or Thunderbolt, as she goes into her Venusaur. Now, Vikavolt is obviously slower. Venusaur does not really want to take a Bug Buzz, but it doesn't care much. If it's no speed, actually that's not true. I was gonna say if it's no speed, I might still outspeed it. I don't think I do. But yeah, so my play here was hopefully let it go for like Leech Seed or I didn't think this turned through very well, honestly. I should have just gone Gudra. I wanted to scout out. What I did was I Volt Switched, but I wanted to scout out like what kind of set it was. It Mega Evolves and goes for Sludge Bomb, and it does 59%. That is huge damage for a Mega Venusaur. So I calced it. If I remember correctly, it is max modest. That might not be the case. She did send me her sets afterward. I didn't really look at the EVs on it, but I'm pretty sure it was max modest. So I go for Volt Switch, and immediately I'm like, oh crap. I calced the Volt Switch damage, and it did reveal that it was not a very defensive Venusaur. It had a little bit of HP investment, probably. So I chose to go into Daito the Kartana because I know I can do some really good damage with either Smart Strike or Psycho Cut. And I don't remember what I chose to go for. I think I went for... No, I doubled out expecting a switch. What was I expecting? I don't even remember. I don't even remember what I was hoping for. Maybe I remember. I was looking for a Skarmory switch in. So I go into Gudra as she goes into her Entei. This is not a terrible position for me. Entei can't really do much to Gudra. So she switches out these Snorlax, and I just go for... she switches out 2 Snorlax, and I just go for Earthquake. A little bit of damage. I calc that. It is max defense, max HP. We see leftovers. Sounds to me like it's Curselax. So I choose to switch out into Sableye, figure out what it is, and it is Curse. And my answer here is just to go for Will-O-Wisp, hopefully burn it, force it into a rest. She switches out into her Venusaur as we burn that. Not bad. We get some residual damage off on this very annoying thing, and Rain reduces the amount of HP it'll get back from Synthesis. So I was pretty okay with burning Venusaur. Now, the obvious switch in is Gudra, as she does go for Leech Seed, and Gudra is designed to just beat this thing into the ground anyway. So I choose to go to Gudra. I go +1. Earthquake is the middle ground play, and I go for it. She switches into Skarmory. That's fine. She does have Stealth Rocks. Again, fine. I just go for Thunderbolt. I get a huge hit off. And she chooses to switch into... I keep wanting to switch the names up into Mew. And I'm thinking here as I go for Thunderbolt, please don't paralyze, because I don't want Gudra to get paralyzed here. We do a good 28%. I did calc it. It just looks like it's max HP. No paralyze, very good. So I switch out into Sableye because it is my immediate answer to this thing if I don't know what set it is, and I don't know what set it is. So Sableye is my immediate answer. And she goes for Calm Mind, which tells me that it is most likely either Calm Mind Roost or just Calm Mind with like 3 attacks. And do we see leftovers? No, we don't. So she goes for Calm Mind again. I go for Nightshade for damage. Good 30% off. We do win this exchange. And she goes into Snorlax on the next Nightshade. I feel like Nightshade was the better play for me anyway. I think I should have gone for it anyway. Maybe I could have gone for knockoff, but I was worried it was going to be weakness policy stored power. With like Dazzling Gleam. Unless it learns Moonblast. Does it actually? I maybe should have checked that. Feels like something I maybe possibly... Yeah, I should have checked that. It does not learn Moonblast. Yeah, so I felt like it was going to have Dazzling Gleam. Either way, though, Calm Mind, Dazzling Gleam, stored power, hits hard. So she goes into the Snorlax on the Nightshade. That's fine. I go for Will-O-Wisp to burn it. She switches out into Dedenne, and I'm okay with burning this thing too because I am like 99% sure that it's Specs. And I'm predicting a Dazzling Gleam here, so I just choose to sack off my Vikavolt. That damage definitely 100% reveals that it is Choice Scarf. Now I choose to go Swampert because now I know that it's Scarf, and Swampert is very, very bulky. And this to me looks like a free substitute because her automatic switch into Swampert is the Venusaur, but I know it's offensive Venusaur, so it doesn't really want to take an Earthquake. So she goes into Venusaur as I go for my substitute. So now I'm in a very good spot. Burned, I get residual damage. She goes for Synthesis, revealing it, as I go for Earthquake, and it does 58%. That is way more than I thought. She goes into her Skarmory, predicting the Earthquake, but at this point, I kind of can just go for Liquidation. I'm okay if it has Rocky Helmet. Um, I feel like she wouldn't really go to it if it had Rocky Helmet, so I'm more than okay with just going for Liquidation, as she switches out into Mew and sacks it off, which I am all for. Then she goes out into back out into this Venusaur and goes for Giga Drain to break the sub. Gets a little bit of HP back, but it's not enough to live another Earthquake. And Swampert secures 2 kills right out of the gate. She goes into DNA, probably knowing that I was going to be afraid of the Grass Knot, and I really am. So I go to Gudra, and she kind of hard reads that and goes for Dazzling Gleam. I know I can't live another, but I need Gudra for the Entei. So I go into Kartana, ready to sack it off because it doesn't do much for me at this point. But I know I'm faster. She switches out into Entei. I went for Smart Strike. It's the middle ground play. I get a crit, 38%, good damage. I'm happy with that damage. Now I go into Pelipper because it is the optimal switch-in, as I can set up Rain for Swampert, which is my way of winning this game at this point. I need to set up Rain with Swampert and get up some defense drops. And we set up Drizzle. She goes for Flare Blitz. It does nothing. I believe here I go for Roost on the switch out. Now I went for Scald for maximum damage. No Scald Burn, very unfortunate. I really wanted to force out the rest soon. I go for it again. I don't get it. I'm pretty sure this continues for a while. I go for Roost on the inevitable rest, I assume. Yep. Now I'm going to say right here, the next like 20-ish turns is all stall. So I switch out into Gudra to start going for Acid Sprays like I planned, hopefully lowering its special defense stats. I was also very ready to just sack off Gudra. That was also something I was pretty ready to do. But yeah, so I'm just going for Acid Spray, lowering its special defense as possible. It goes for the Sleep Talk and wakes up and gets the Body Press off. I go Pelipper because I know that Hurricane's doing a lot of damage. But I go for Scald because I want to force out the burn as soon as possible. She goes to Nene, and I'm very threatened by this thing with Thunderbolt, so I have to go into Kartana ready to sack it off. As she goes for Dazzling Gleam, and Kartana's gone, and that's also my main answer to Swampert gone, or to Snorlax gone. She goes Snorlax on this thing. I need a defense drop right here, and I did not get it. I'm not getting these 20% and 30% things here, man. It's really frustrating. But we do see its full set as Curse, Rest, Sleep Talk, Body Press. I go for Knockoff, hoping to knock off either the Leftovers, Choice Band. I did calc its damage from earlier. It is guaranteed Choice Band, or the Choice Specs. It reveals that it is Specs. Very good for me, because I also calced and I made sure that non-Specs Dene cannot kill Sableye with at 100% with Dazzling Gleam. So she goes for Dazzling Gleam. I do not die, and I go for Nightshade. And then it dies to burn, so I'm very glad I got that burn off earlier. Sableye picks up a kill. And in hindsight, I should have recovered and gotten some extra Flare Blitz chip, but I don't think it would have mattered very much anyway. Maybe I should have switched Pelipper, but I felt like Sableye was not in a very good position to begin with. So I have to go Pelipper here, and these next turns, dude, it's just stall. It's literally, it lasts like 11 turns. I have to switch out to Swampert to reset Rain and do stuff. It's very boring, very long. She got a bunch of curses up. I didn't get a single burn in the very many scalds I went for on the turns that it was available to get burns. I choose to go for Hurricanes, hoping that I can soon get rid of the rest PP, but yeah, I can't win this. I'm hoping for a Darkest Larry crit. That's my only way of winning, and I'm just not getting it. And it lives on 2 HP, which is really unfortunate because that was a 68% roll, which sucks. I can't express enough how much I hate Snorlax because of this specific set. It's so toxic and so annoyingly good. Because the only situation where you possibly wouldn't run it is if your opponent has one of the Sword of Justice Pokemon, because they learn Sacred Sword. But you don't normally run Sacred Sword over close combat, so even then. Yeah, so Snorlax sweeps us. Very annoying Pokemon. That stall lasted like 20 turns. I was doing my best, but it was a pretty much unwinnable situation. Dedenne, I'm really impressed with how well that did. I think Dedenne actually picked up like 3 kills in that game, and she showed me the set that it was afterward. It was Nuzzle, it was Choice Specs Nuzzle, Thunderbolt, Thunder, sorry, U-Turn and Dazzling Gleam. Definitely a good set. Nuzzle's a very good check to Kartana. Yeah, GG. She definitely brought some good sets. I liked the Mew. I believe it was Calm Mind 3 attacks with like Energy Ball or something. Um, I'm really impressed with how well the DNA did, honestly. But I really am. I'm really annoyed at this Snorlax, dude. Like, it lives on 2 HP. It's not getting burned. I'm not getting confusion hits. I'm not getting. I'm like, I needed a little bit of hacks to go in my favor at this end, and it just didn't at all. It could not have gone. It wasn't in anybody's favor for once. Man, I'll be honest. The way this game goes, either it feels like the hacks is always against me, or it's against nobody, and that doesn't benefit me in any way, and that just sucks. Anyway, that is week 1. We are currently 0-1 with a -2 differential starting off the season. Not great, not horrible. We can come back from it. Mega Swampert didn't put in a good amount of work early on. Did it get 3 kills? No, it got 2 kills, and then Pelor grabbed the Skarmory. I'm glad I brought Sableye. I think in hindsight, I probably should have saved it, but I couldn't figure out what I was gonna do, because Sableye I don't know. I didn't think I was gonna win that game anyway, even if I did save Sableye, because then she could just go and stall out rain turns, then go Entei and kill Flare Blitz. Like, I don't think I would have won that game anyway. Definitely good sets. GG. I'm going to see you on week 2. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, as I do enjoy making the content myself. And tell me what you think about the thumbnail. I worked pretty hard on it. We're going to be using that for a while. Jeez, I cannot talk. For pretty much all the leagues I'm in, that I'm making videos on. And anyway, hopefully we can come back next week. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm going to see you all in week